Mhm. Okay. Cool. Okay, so welcome everybody. If nobody cannot hear me, just let me know, but I think it's all good. We tested that. So welcome to a 60-minute slow flow and stretch. Brittany, I'm sure she'll be back tomorrow morning. Hopefully her power will get fixed. So it's kind of interesting. We're all kind of in the midst of this pause in our lives. And so we're going to start with a Kundalini warm up, and then I'm going to read a poem by the poet Rumi. I'll do it now and then during Shavasana, because I think it just really kind of captures. I don't know about you. It was kind of a bummer for me yesterday for Easter. My daughter was supposed to be out here. We had a really big event planned last week. We were going to be at the beach, and things just didn't go as planned for all of us. So I think, we just have to surrender into it. There's going to be highs and lows during this whole time. And yesterday definitely wasn't a high for me, but it's so good. We got to get back on our mat and breathe and move and just work on steadiness, because this isn't going to last forever. So we'll start with a Kundalini warm-up. I love Kundalini. They do a lot of breath work and dynamic movement, and we'll do a little bit of breath of fire just to get everything moving, and then we'll take that into the postures. So let's just get to a nice, comfortable seat, and just close your eyes for a moment and just welcome yourself to your practice. And I will read this lovely poem called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house, each morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So just allow those words to sink in and welcome whatever emotions, thoughts, feelings, sensations are here. And we'll just invite you to use our practice today to just clear it out, process it, assimilate it, and just get ready for the rest of the day. So let's bring our hands together, palms together, thumb knuckles touching your heart, and we'll chant the sound of Om one time just to begin our practice. So take a nice inhalation in. Awesome. I'm going to release the hands. Good. So with your hands on your knees, we're just going to start with some seated cat-cows. So go ahead and inhale the chest forward and exhale round. Try to inhale through the nostrils, exhale through the nostrils. And you can kind of start a little slower for starters, and then just gradually pick up the pace a little bit. And just kind of, while you're doing this, your eyes can be open slightly or closed. If they're closed, you can just imagine you're taking your sight up to in between your eyebrows. It kind of calms the nervous system a little bit. Great. Okay. And then come back to center. We're going to have our hands out. Now we're just going to open the side body. So put your left hand down, stretch your right arm up and over. Anchoring your right hip down, just stretching, creating space. And then bring it over to the opposite side, this time anchoring the left hip down, stretching up. So you can see my dog is making lots of activity. Welcome to my yoga world. Sometimes I lock him into my closet, but then he barks, so. And then let's just take it back and forth. And as you move back and forth, again, just kind of think, you're just kind of setting an energetic pose. Scooter now. Great. And then come back to center. This time we'll do a Kundalini twist. So our fingers are forward, our thumbs are behind us, elbows are shoulder height, and we're just going to inhale. The gaze goes with you to the left, and then exhale right. Try to keep a slight engagement of the belly so that we're trying to really focus on the thoracic spine region. So again, it's an inhale, exhale. So when we're done in a moment, you're going to notice this really does create a lot of sensation. It's just warming up. The spine is such a powerful, energetic channel in the body. You'll see that in a moment. This is one of my favorite warm-ups just in the morning before meditation. Great, now come back to center, just release your hands, eyes closed, just notice, because there's usually, at least in my body, just a lot of sensation, and just use your breath nice and steady to just again smooth out the edges a little bit. And then take your left ear to your left shoulder, come up to center, right ear to right shoulder. Back. Just kind of use it with the breath. So throughout the entire class, as we move and breathe, we're trying to just set everything up. It's kind of tuning our entire body. Great, then come back to center after your next one over to the side. Feel like you're lengthening the back of the neck, chin slightly down, and then just turn your head to the left, come back to center, turn it to the right. And as you go side to side with your gaze, imagine you're drawing the opposite shoulder back. So you're getting a really nice stretch. Great, and then come back to center. We're going to do 3 rounds of breath of fire. And it's just a real powerful breath, especially since we aren't able to get out as much. It just kind of is really purifying for our body. So what it is it's just kind of a forced exhalation. So you'll exhale out the nostril, drawing the navel in, and a passive inhalation. Okay, try to resist using your shoulders and your lungs as you do that. Try to really think about the bottom, belly button to pelvis, drawing in and up, okay? And if it's too much for you, you just breathe nice and deeply. So take a nice inhale and an exhale, and then we'll begin. Release the breath. Now take a big inhale and sip in air. Sip in even more if you can. And then hold the breath. Feel your pelvic floor lifting. Chin slightly in. Just feel this energy that you have the potential to build within yourself. And then lift your chin and release. And just keep the eyes closed and just notice. There's so much, we have so much potential to just kind of build and harness all this energy within us. And there's a lot of nervous energy, a lot of around us. So it's just so important we have this self-mastery. Okay, second round. Just take a nice little breath in and out just to get ready. And then we begin. Release. Big breath in through the nostrils. Feel like you're filling all the way up to the collarbones where you can't possibly take in any more. And then hold the breath. Lift your pelvic floor, chin slightly to chest. Just feel this power that you're creating. Awesome. And then lift the chin, release, observe. Last round. Take a soft like inhalation and exhalation and begin. Release. Big breath in, fill up as much as you can. The most you've done is 3 practices. Hold the breath. And release. Excellent. And then make your way into table position. We built a lot of energy in the body now, and now we want to just maintain it, okay? So let's stretch your right leg out. And if you're feeling okay, you can take your left arm forward. And just try to think, flex your right foot and just get a nice clear line of energy from the right heel to your left thumb. Draw your navel in. Good. And then awesome. Now we're gonna take an inhale, exhale, tap down. Inhale up, exhale, elbow to knee. We're gonna do that 5 times. Out, tap, up, elbow to knee, out, tap, up, elbow to knee. If it's too much having the arm out, you can just have the arm down and just use the leg. Great, last one. Out, back, up, elbow to knee. Stretch it out, release, and then a nice little cat-cow. Couple more times, just freeing the spine. Great. Come back to center. We go to side 2 now. So this time your left leg's out, belly slightly in, right arm forward. Take a nice inhale, then we're gonna tap down, up, elbow to knee, out, down, up, elbow to knee, out, tap, up, elbow to knee, out, tap, up, elbow to knee. I think we have 2 more. Out, tap, up, elbow to knee, stretch it out, release down. This time maybe do a couple of barrel rolls, just kind of clearing anything out. Great, take it in the opposite direction. Great. Awesome. And then now from here, keep your hips right over your knees. Walk your hands out into puppy posture. Just stretching out, forehead to the earth. Now draw your belly slightly in because you want to get the stretch in your thoracic spine. And spread your fingers, press all of your fingertips into the earth and feel like your forearms are lifting up to the sky. Squeeze your arms straight. Lengthen the back of the neck and just allow the shoulders to soften down. Smoothing out the breath. We really created a lot of energy through the breath of fire, this twisting of the spine. Awesome. Now walk your hands back in. Try to kind of seal that feeling of the long spine as you take your hands just a couple inches forward and press up into your first downward dog. And just make this first downward dog kind of organic, so you can bend your knees quite a bit. Press your chest as close to your thighs as you can, and then stretch the heels back. And then bend one knee. Stay there, just kind of enjoy. While you're bending one of the knees, I have my right knee bent, perhaps you have your left, but really press your chest towards your thighs and the opposite heel towards the earth. Good, and then come up to center, do the opposite one. Great, and then stretch it out. Okay, now just working into our breath here a little bit. So we built all this fire in the breath. So we're going to take a nice inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, downward dog. Try to have your inhales be about 4 counts, 4 to 5 counts. Inhale forward. When you come into plank, really squeeze your arms straight, belly strong, long neck. Press the back of your skull up towards the sky. Back to downward dog. Just again, think of as you're doing your breath, you're trying to just create an evenness in the flow of your breath, which is going to translate to an evenness in your mind. Good. Now the next time we come forward, it's your choice. You can have your knees down. We're just going to build a little strength because it's good to have strength. So I'm going to take my knees down. If you're feeling really energetic, you don't have to. And we're just going to do 3 little push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Bring it up, back to downward dog. Good. Now from here, come forward into plank. Your option, you can lower the knees or not. You're going to nice and easily lower your body to the ground. Hands are right at the sides, thumbs are right below your shoulder blades, tops of the feet are strongly in the earth. And inhale up for your first baby cobra. Exhale it down. Inhale up for number 2. Exhale it down. Last one, inhale up for number 3. We're going to hold it. You can get light on the palms if you'd like. And release, beautiful. Tuck your toes. You can press up to plank and back to downward facing dog. Good, and then one step at a time, just gently walk your feet forward. Good, and then once you get forward, just grab opposite elbows. You can have your hands on the block or hands on your shins. I'm just gonna get my phone so I can see how I'm doing on time. Awesome. And then notice most people, when we're in this posture, our hips go behind our heels. So see if you can get a little bit more weight forward. Shake your head yes and no. Just notice where you still may be holding physical tension in the body. And then now press down, kind of spread your toes a little bit and really feel the connection to the earth. Pressing your feet down into the earth, tone your belly, nice and easy, roll all the way up. Awesome, inhale your arms overhead. You can stay facing forward if you want. I just kind of came over so I could see you interlace all your fingers with your index fingers. Stretch up, try to get your biceps back by ears, lengthen tail towards heels. Up, and then take your arms over to the right. Really press strongly down through the left foot. I'm going to mirror you guys. Biceps back by ears, squeeze your arms as straight as you can. Bring it up to center. Take it in the opposite direction. Good. Bring it up to center. Exhale, forward fold. Good, inhale halfway up. Exhale down, take a big step back with your right leg. So the knees right over the ankle, hands are down. If you need like blocks or books, that's helpful. Try to think of a straight line from the right heel up the line of your leg, along the spine. Good, and then lower your right knee to the ground. Inhale up into a low lunge. And from here, if you can, grab opposite elbows. I'm gonna face you. And just kind of come, inhale forward and lunge a little bit, back off. Inhale, lunge a little bit, back off. What gives you stability if you get a little wobbly is just feel like you're squeezing your inner thighs together. And then bring your hands behind your skull, lengthen through the back of the neck and just press your skull into the hands. Smooth breath. Awesome, stretch the arms up and you're gonna release the hands to the ground. Stretch your right and your left leg straight. Fingertips are on the earth, spread the toes, flex the left foot. Now press into the heel and feel like you're dragging it back towards your hips while you're stretching your spine straight. Good. Now your right hand's gonna stay on the ground. Try to make sure your left hip's kind of anchoring back and then just stretch your left arm up. Smooth breath. Good, release the hands to the ground. Come forward in the lunge, press your hands back. Press back to plank. Lower down. Hands on the ground. This time bring your hands, your palms down by your hips. Spread the toes, and we're gonna lift the chest and lift the legs and kind of spread the toes. Feel like your upper inner thighs, you have a block between them and you're pushing the block up towards the sky. Just feel the strength of your back body. Nice, smooth breath. Good, release the hands down. Bring your hands back by your chest. You can either press up to plank and back, or you can kind of go back as if you're going towards child, and then press your hands up. Good. Alrighty, the next time you're gonna bring your right foot forward. If you can't get it all the way, you just take your right hand and grab it. Take a moment to just set up here, and then lower the back knee to the ground, and just walk your way up. Awesome. And then same thing, so it's kind of helpful sometimes if you want, you can tuck your back toes, it's your call. You get a little more stretch in the quad. If you don't, bring your hands up overhead if this is an option. If it's too much, you just bring your hands on your thighs. And then while you're here, what happens a lot of times, I do it all the time, I bulge my low ribs out, kind of pull them in slightly. So try to, get a little tone here. And the reason we do it is the least stability in your spine is in the lumbar region. So we want to tone the abs so that we support that a little bit more. And then we start getting more openness in the thoracic spine up by our shoulders. So just kind of hang out here, breathing deeply. You can lunge a little bit more forward. So press into your right foot, feel like you're dragging it back towards your left heel or your left knee while you're lunging forward. That gives you stability. Stretch the arms up. Awesome. And then release the hands to the ground. This time we stretch the right leg straight. You can heel toe it back, flexing the foot. Really try to, you're still keeping your hips square and then just lengthening your spine as if you're trying to take your chin towards your right foot. Then the left hand stays down, right arm opens up. Great, release your hands to the ground. This time press into your right foot. You're gonna lift your back knee and then bring the foot forward. Press down through the feet. Inhale all the way up. And then just feel like you're harnessing all this energy around you and bringing it back to your heart with your hands. Excellent, we'll continue to move. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into chair pose or Utkatasana.
try to do a really big, it's called Mula Bandha, where you're lifting the pelvic floor up. When you do that, it automatically is going to take some of this curve out of your low back. And if you want, it's really hard to do it, but you can again grab opposite elbows. It tries to encourage a bigger shoulder opening. It's also hard, so if it's too much for you, just keep your hands here, keep them forward. Good, stretch your up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down, press back to plank. And the knees can come down. We're going to take it down and inhale up into your cobra or up dog, whatever feels best for you. Press back to downward dog. Okay, right leg comes forward now. Take your time getting there. Back heel down, in and down at an angle. We're inhaling up into warrior one. And then in warrior one, I'm going to lower so that you can see. But I want you to hook your thumbs like so, and then stretch up and just kind of bend your elbows a little bit. So you're really getting your shoulder blades on your back. And then once you have that, you can just go ahead and stretch your arms. But I want you to really work on strong shoulder blades on the back. Good. Now hands are going to come together and we're going to move towards Skandasana. So we're going to take it back towards our left leg. Hands can be on the ground. We're going to do this twice. We're going to go to warrior one, Skandasana. So this first one, just kind of hang out here and let it be organic. I like to sometimes lift my hips up and take it down. Just kind of opening up this right inner thigh. Good. And now from here, just squeeze your right leg straight. And then just nice and carefully tone the belly so that you're stable and you come up to warrior one again. Good. This time in warrior one, bring your arms into goddess and slightly try to turn your left shoulder a little bit more forward. Lunge into your right knee a tad more. Keep squeezing your left leg straight and strong and stretch up. And just feel like, your breath's moving. Hands come to prayer. This time we go back to Skandasana. And then you can do another form if you'd like. You can balance. You can turn the toes up to the sky and stretch your right arm up. I don't have as much space as a lot of our students, but you can take it into a bind. Excellent. And then now we're going to bring it, we can walk it all the way up to the front. Press back to plank. And then take it through a flow if you'd like, or if you aren't feeling the flow, you just come to child and take a little breather there. Good, so nice smooth breath. Every time you come back to downward dog, it's such a great practice of just getting steady and clear. Like spread your fingers, feel your hands pressing into your palms, the energy of your heels moving back to the earth. So every time you come to downward dog, it's an opportunity to reground, resettle. Awesome, okay, now we move to the opposite side. So the left foot comes forward, back heel in and down, and just come up to your warrior one. Again, this time hook your thumbs, I always say the other way, and just kind of use this to just get your shoulders on your back. I always have to do this when I practice because I bulge my ribs out. Draw your ribs back in. Sometimes I forget. Squeeze your right leg a little straighter and stronger. And you don't have to do anything that I'm doing. Like sometimes when I'm practicing, especially when I'm doing a home practice, you really work on your form a little bit. It's kind of like freeing these home practices. Awesome. Okay, we're getting ready to go to Skandasana. I'm going to mirror you guys. So you're going back. This time, you're onto your right knee is bent. And you keep the left foot down and just kind of, again, organically, just smooth it. Just go nice and slow. That's why I love slow flow and stretch. You have to really check it out. You want to make sure your right knee is bending towards the right toes. Okay. And then bring it back up so you're down here, nice and easy. Come back to warrior one again. This time you're going to take the arms out in goddess and just kind of turn them forward. Notice whatever resistance you have. Warrior one has a lot of you need to have your back leg. It requires flexibility in your back, quad, and the hip flexors. Great, we come back to Skandasana with the right knee bent. And your choice, do whatever you did on the other side. The toes can come up. The right hand could be pushing the right knee back and stretching the left arm up. Excellent. And then from here, go ahead and walk your hands back. Press back to plank. You can take it through a flow, and then we're all gonna meet in child's pose. So just take it back, take your knees wide, arms come out, forehead towards the earth. And use this posture, it's just as important as everything else we're doing, to just kind of teach and train yourself to like kind of come back to ground zero a little bit. Just get into your breath, allow yourself, create a feeling of being deeply like grounded and supported. Child's a really great posture, like just feel the belly rising and falling. So even in the midst of our vinyasa practice where we're building strength, we also learn how to like pause, regroup, resettle. Great. Okay, so we're just come up. I like to pulsate in the slow flow classes, so we'll do a little stretch and then we're gonna flow a bit and come back. So let's come into table and we're just gonna open up our shoulders, stretch your right arm up, and then thread the needle, taking your right ear to the ground. Left arm's gonna kind of draw forward. Try to practice really smooth breaths. See if you can just inhale nice and smoothly through the nostrils. Nice, smooth exhale. One of the things to watch when we're breathing it's helpful too, not only to count, but try to see, make sure you're evening your breath up from the beginning of your inhale to the end of the inhale. Likewise with the exhale, a lot of times we start really strong and we taper off. You want it to be equal, like effort in the beginning as in the end. Awesome, bring it back, just stretch the right arm up. Take it back to center, and then we go to the opposite side. Stretch your left arm up. Thread the needle through. When you're in this posture, you can use your bent hand to kind of help curl you open a little bit. Just again, kind of like the poem I read at the beginning of class. Anything that comes up, just let it like move through you. Just breathing into any place of tension that you feel. Awesome. Bring the arm back out. Great, you can stretch it up and then bring it back to center. Tuck your toes, press back into the downward facing dog. Just kind of work it out. Okay, so now stretch your right leg up and come up on your left tippy toes a little bit and stretch your right leg higher and press your left heel down to the ground while you're still lifting your right leg up. And then draw your right foot forward in between your hands, back heel in and down, and float up to Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. So we want the right heel to track towards our right big toe. Left arm stretches back. And then now we're just gonna do a little bit of shoulder rotation here. So bring your arms up to the goddess arms, okay? And so try to maintain these ribs drawing in. And then we're just gonna open, rotate the shoulders. So now take your palms down, and inner rotation of the shoulders, outer rotation, inner rotation,
outer rotation, inner rotation, outer rotation, and then just hang out here. Now bring your left arm under your right. Squeeze your forearms as much together so you feel a really big stretch behind the shoulders. And then try to keep your hips kind of square. Bow down as if you're bringing your hands towards your right foot. Now, most of us, I feel my right butt goes out to behind me. Try to draw your right hip in as if you're trying to anchor your right hip back towards your left heel. And then draw it up. Now, this is going to be a little tricky for some. Come back on your back toes. And then if you can, you're going to bring your right leg toe, your left foot around and come into eagle. If you can't do that and you're just in a standing with your legs, your hands like so, that's perfectly okay. It's a great option. Some of you who want to, you can bring your elbow down.
I'm gonna make some.
Awesome. And then nice and easy, just bring it up, stretch your arms up. And just feeling like opening your heart, welcoming anything in. Just come into goddess arms, open your chest. Stretch up, find your, like this is all just like mentally setting the tone. Bring your hands down to your heart. Good, just take a breath, feet on the ground, shoulders back. Just choosing your thoughts right in this moment. Hands come to the side, take a moment to just settle in. Feel your feet on the earth, shoulders back. Just create a feeling of being stable and strong for yourself. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Sean, you can't keep coming in here.
I'm going.
He's probably hiding from you. Inhale up. Exhale down. Press back to plank. Take it through a flow. Whenever you get to downward dog, just take the time to really lengthen your spine, stretch out the backs of your legs, feel into your hands and your feet. So you just establish a general tone for yourself of being grounded, of being settled. All right, and then left foot comes forward. I'm going to turn around so that I can see the see the computer. Bring it up to warrior two. And anytime you get in a posture, just take your time. Feel the feet, track your left knee over your left, towards your left toes. Arms come into goddess. Draw these ribs in, shoulders back, length of skulls back. And then just right now, we're outer rotating, inner rotating. So some of you, like especially if somebody's had frozen shoulder or any shoulder injuries, this might be hard to do. So all of these little joint rotations, I like to incorporate them into a vinyasa practice just to kind of see what's going on. And if you notice that one side's a little tighter, then you just practice it another time, right? Okay, arms come out for a moment. And then now we're going to bring the right arm underneath the left. Squeeze the forearms tight, pivot slightly forward, and then just bow down. The left hip probably went out behind you. Try to kind of pull the left hip in and feel as if you're tracking it towards your right knee. And then keep lengthening the spine. And this is a lot of stuff I'm throwing at you. You just do what you can. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Press into your feet. Come on. Whenever I do this, I sometimes have to take a little baby step. So I'm going to come up off of my toes. And then you're going to bring it forward and come into eagle or Ardhasana. Sink in. You can stay where you are. If you'd like, you can bow forward. Bring it all the way up. And release. Stretch your arms up. Exhale, come into a nice little goddess. Just opening, breathing into your chest. Stretch up and hands to heart center. Okay, take a moment again, feel the feet, feel your breath, get grounded and steady. And then we're going to, from here, come into Vrksasana or tree pose. Just press into your left foot, and your toes can be right here. If you're new to balancing, you just stay right here, and you can bring it up and then just kind of slowly work towards it. Otherwise, press into your left leg and bring your right foot to whatever's comfortable for you. So if our hips are tight, it's hard for a lot of folks for the knee to be out to the side. And whenever, as a teacher, you cue people and you say, take your right knee back, most people open their right hips. So I want you to keep pressing strongly your right foot into your left inner thigh. Bring your hands to your hips and just square them. And then now feel like you're dragging your right heel towards the front, and you're gonna automatically have the knee go back. Hands come to prayer. Yeah. And really good, you guys, that we all have the ability to balance, because I've always found energetically when things are a little crazy for myself, it's hard to balance, like right now. So now from here, go ahead and stretch your arms up, or actually bring them back down. Bring the right foot forward, and then you can bend the left leg slightly if you'd like. We're gonna bring ourselves into a warrior three, and it's totally your choice. You can balance like so. You can bring your hands to the earth, whatever feels good to you. Woo. Awesome. And then now bring your hands to the earth. Take a step back about 3 feet. So we're drawing back into pyramid pose. Good. And then from here, press into the mound of your left big toe. Feel like energetically you're drawing energy up into the pelvis and just square the hips. Take a nice inhale with the hands on the ground and stretch your chest forward. And then nice and easy release. So your choice on what you want to do with the hands. Some people might need them on blocks. You can bring the hands down to earth. You can also walk them back. And then now, this is really kind of tough if you don't have a block and they're a little on the tighter side. You can keep your right hand down and stretch your left arm up for revolve triangle. It's a tough posture. Requires hamstring strength, spinal strength, the ability to balance, flexibility of the spine. Awesome, bring your hands down to the earth, come forward, press down through the feet, and rise on up. And again, every time you do this, just bring your hands to heart center. Just again, create just an inner tone of being stable and steady. Press into your right foot now. The left foot's gonna come up. Okay, hands kind of on the hips. Press into the feet. Hands come in. Okay, excuse me. You guys stay here. I'm gonna tell my son not to empty the dishwasher. Sean, now don't do that right now. It's too noisy. Okay, wait till after, sweetie. I'm sorry, you guys. Nice balancing. I love him emptying the dishwasher. Good. Okay, so the hands are on here again, the same thing. You kind of press the foot into the upper inner thigh. Woo! And then feel like you're dragging the heel forward. So that way you aren't moving the hips. And then I'm gonna move towards the front so that I can face you. Good. Then nice and easy, you're gonna bring the knee forward. Create a feeling of being really strong, and then come back into any version of your Virasana 3 or Warrior 3. Your hands can be balanced, they can be out to the side, they can be forward. You can bring your hands to the earth. Nice, smooth breath. Let your breath continue to be smooth and strong. And then nice and easy, you're gonna bend the knee a little bit. Take it back for Parsvottanasana or pyramid pose, about 3 feet apart. Hands come into the earth.
Try to square the hips. So for most of us, it's kind of pulling the right hip back. Inhale, the chest comes halfway up. And then exhale. And most of the reason we're kind of lifting halfway up, it moves prana through the body, but we're trying to get your spine nice and long. If you'd like, you can walk the hands back towards the earth, whatever feels best for you. All right, the left hand stays down, the right arm just opens up. Awesome, bring your hands back to the earth. Press back into plank and lower all the way down to the ground. And this time come into what's called crocodile, where you'll have your hands on top of each other and the forehead rests on the palms. This is a very nice posture for just settling the nervous system. So just allow yourself to feel your belly rise and fall with smooth breath. And then you can even imagine yourself also. Just feel the low back start to, like as if you're breathing space into the low back. Okay, and then make your way up into Sphinx posture. So one of the things about Sphinx is a lot of times we kind of arch. So try as much as you can. Your elbows are right below, so you can see right below your forearms. And press into your forearms and kind of drag your chest a little bit more forward. And then you're gonna bend your right leg, turn your left hand in at a right angle, and you're gonna bend your right leg and come back and grab it. Now, for some people, most people, the knee comes out a lot, so try to keep it in. If you can, see if you can walk the hand around and grab the inside. And this is just a combination. It's a really nice quad stretch. It's also a big shoulder stretch for your right pec. So it's a little energetic. There's a tendency that our breath really fires up. Try to just commit to keeping your breath smooth and steady. Try to draw the right heel as close to your bum as you can. Excellent. And then release. Just come down to crocodile for a moment again. Just letting your shoulders soften, your trap soften, your face soften. Feel the belly against the mat. The breath moving into the low back. And then we'll come back to Sphinx again. Take a chance to just kind of broaden your collarbones, press into your forearms, draw your chest forward, and then bend your left leg. You can pivot your right forearm in, grab the foot. Notice it's okay if the knee goes out to the side. Mine does too, because my quads are tight, but just do the best you can. Excellent. And then nice and easy release. This time bring your hands by your hips. Press yourself back into child's pose. So really take your time walking it back, like come on your fingertips and get your heels as close to your bottom as you can. And then just nice and easy, bring it forward. Bow down. Just allow the feeling of any layers of any tension just kind of melt into the earth. We keep the breath smooth and steady. And then from here, go ahead and make your way back up, and we're going to roll over onto our backs. So drop both your knees into your chest. Just give yourself a nice little hug, and then allow the feet to rest on the earth. Cross your right ankle over the left, so getting ready for reclined pigeon. And you're going to bring your foot up, take your hands. One hand goes inside the little triangle, the other goes outside. So a lot of times, myself included, I would automatically go and grab my shin because it's a little bit deeper stretch. But if you keep your hands behind your hamstring, you can use your right elbow to kind of push the knee away from you while you're drawing your hamstring in. So just kind of find that. And while you're here, just lengthen up through the back of the neck, a nice spine. And then this next posture, even when I teach this at the yoga studio, I still sometimes, the students I don't explain it as well. So I'm going to do my best now. So keep your feet, your legs exactly how they are. I want you to keep your left knee, thigh at a right angle. And you're going to allow the left thigh and the right foot to go directly over to the left. And I like to take my left hand and grab my right foot, and then encourage my right thigh to move away from my shoulders. And it's just a nice outer hip stretch. And then I take my right hand and stretch it out. Sometimes it's a more advanced posture. Some people will take your right hand. It's called cat pulling tail, and they'll grab their left foot. That's another option. I really, really love the hip stretch here. It's just on my outer right hip if I just stay like so. We'll breathe fully, just creating as much oxygen moving into the chest. Awesome, bring the legs back through center, hug them in. Just maybe give a few little circles. Okay, and then the right foot goes down to the ground, the left ankle crosses over. Kind of square your hips up a little bit, draw the legs in, hands come behind the right hamstring, and then you can take your left elbow and push the left knee towards the back of your mat while you're drawing the right thigh forward. Just breathing into the left outer hip. So one of the things in reclined pigeon that sometimes if you don't feel a lot of sensation, there's two things you can do to kind of create more sensation if you like. One is you can slide the left shin a little bit further across the body. And then the other thing is kind of work with where you're putting the weight on. Like, so if I move more weight, I kind of rotate my hips and I have more weight in my right hip, I seem to get a better stretch too. So you can play around with that. Awesome, and then now from here, we want to keep the knee right over the right hip. Take it out to a direct 90-degree angle. The left foot's going to come to the ground. As I said, I like to grab my left foot with my right hand. And then encourage the knee to move away. Excellent. And then nice and easy, bring it up. Hug both knees into the chest, and then now come into a happy baby. And for happy baby, some people can easily peace finger the big toes. That's great. You can grab the outside of the feet. But another way of doing it that I feel is really grounding, especially if your hips are tight, is you can take your hands to right above like the soleus muscle, or the real big part of your calf, and try to just get your knees as close to your armpits as you can. And when you do this, the sacrum, it's just a little bit more grounding for the sacrum or the low back. So you can try that out. Grab the feet, whatever feels best for you. Big, like belly breathing. Just breathe into your belly. Awesome. And then draw the knees into your chest. If there's any last posture, maybe before as a start to Shavasana, why don't we come into reclined butterfly? So I'm going to read the poem from Rumi again. So just, allow your feet to come together. Maybe kind of lift your hips and lengthen your tailbone towards the end of the mat. That gets your pelvis a little bit more grounded. And just get yourself really relaxed as I get ready to read this to you again. And this poem is called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house, every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So just allow yourself to let those words and any reaction that you had just to move gently through the body, welcoming whatever comes. And then if you'd like to start straightening your legs out to a full Shavasana for the last few moments of class.
You are welcome to stay into Shavasana as long as you'd like. Or if you'd like, you can slowly start to move the fingers and toes, the wrists and ankles. Gently stretch in any way that you wish. And gently roll over to your favorite side, just allowing just these last few moments, your asana practice to just kind of settle in. And hopefully sealing the connection we have to the stillness we find at the end of our practice, knowing it's always there, always available for us. And make your way up to your seat. And just take a moment again to like re-ground, as if these last few moments are just setting us up to just embrace and appreciate the day ahead of us. And we'll bring our hands to heart center. And in deep gratitude for these ancient teachings of yoga that reminds us that every moment we get to choose our thoughts, we get to choose our words, and we get to choose our actions.